Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. But if you're new here, my name is Doshima and I share natural hair care and growth tips plus DIYs that actually work. And today I'll be showing you how to make the perfect black soap shampoo that gently cleanses, moisturizes and promotes hair growth, all with ingredients you probably already have at home. So let's get right into it. So these are the ingredients I'll be using for this recipe. I have my black soap, which is the base ingredient here. This comes in a pack of 600 grams, but I already took out 1/3, and we're going to be using the second third because this 1 liter production calls for 200 grams of soap. The second ingredient on the table is our dried hibiscus petals, also known as zobo leaves. So I'm just going to be washing this in a bit and then I'll infuse this into the soap. Next, I have my oils. I have my kernel oil, which is supposed to be the main oil for this recipe, according to my preference, of course. But since it's small, I might have to supplement with my DIY aloe vera and rosemary oil, which is fine too. And then I also have my essential oil. Please feel free to use any oils of your choice: coconut oil, olive oil, just
This
do you.
is some lemon juice to bring the acidity. I'm just going to cut this and squeeze the juice out, and then I have my aloe vera. This is going to give me about half a cup of aloe vera juice, and then this is xanthan gum. This is just going to help with the thickness of our shampoo, and then this is the preservative Germall Plus. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I already rinsed my aloe vera leaf, but to get rid of this yellow latex that's dripping, I'm just going to soak it in water for about 30 to 40 minutes before juicing it. So let's go.
So while I wait for this, I'm just going to make the hibiscus infusion.
About 600 mils of water on fire to let it boil. Okay, so our water is already boiling, you can see. So I'm just going to turn this off now, and then I'll introduce my already washed hibiscus. You can see that this is thoroughly washed, so I'm just going to put it inside here and let it steep.
While waiting 15 to 20 minutes for this to steep, I'm just going to go on to crumble my black soap. Using a knife, I'll cut it into as little bits as I can. This will help it melt more easily and more nicely in the hibiscus tea. There was a time when this was all I used to do and just use it to wash my hair, and it was sufficient at the time. African black soap deeply cleanses the scalp. It removes buildup and reduces dandruff, but still keeps your hair soft when balanced with the right ingredients, of course. And now back to check on the hibiscus tea that has been steeping for a while. You can see that it has turned a deep red color, and that means that without a doubt it is ready. I'm just going to go on to strain the liquid out, which is going to form a liquid base of our shampoo, of course. Hibiscus is packed with vitamin C and amino acids that help strengthen the hair shaft, add shine, and even supports growth from the roots. So if you didn't know that the zobo you drink can also be put in your hair, well, now you know. And no need to trash the zobo leaves just yet, just in case you end up with shampoo too thick that you need to lighten.
So this is still warm. And now I'm just going to add soap inside. So here we go.
So to let the black soap dissolve completely in the hibiscus tea, I'm just going to stir and let it sit for 1 to 2 hours, but you can even let it sit overnight. At this point, it's time to juice my aloe vera gel. You can see that the water that I soaked the leaves in has a yellowish tint to it. That means that most of the latex has seeped into the water. This soaking is an important step, especially if you have sensitive skin, that tends to itch when it comes in contact with aloe vera. So what I'm doing now is to simply scoop out the gel from the aloe vera leaves, and then I'll go on to blend using a blender. You do not need to add water whatsoever, just blend the gel and then strain out using a cheesecloth or any fine cloth, and that's just it. Your aloe vera juice is ready. So now that the black soap has completely dissolved in the hibiscus tea, it's time to combine all the ingredients together. But first, you have to make sure that you pass this through a strainer, because black soap usually has some sand and stones in it, so you don't want that to get into your shampoo. So now that that's done, I'm just going to go on to first of all add my aloe vera juice. This is about 120 mils. Aloe vera juice helps soothe the scalp, balance the shampoo's pH, and of course, boost moisture. And I'm just stirring this really nicely to combine properly. Next, I'll go in with my lemon juice, which I made simply from cutting up a large lemon and squeezing out the juice, and of course passing the juice through a strainer so that I don't end up with the pulp in my shampoo. Lemon brings the freshness to the shampoo and is also a natural cleansing agent. Plus, lemon is rich in citric acid, so that is going to help to balance the pH of this shampoo, which is mostly alkaline because of the soap. The next thing to go in would be my oils. I'm using kernel oil and my DIY aloe vera and rosemary oil to make 3 tablespoons of oil for this recipe. And then I'm going to be dissolving my xanthan gum, which is the thickener for this recipe, in these oils. So the last time I made this shampoo, I tried to use glycerine, which was the recommended, you know, combination to dissolve this, and it was a terrible experience for me. I ended up with clumps that it was so difficult to dissolve until I tried a small portion with oil, and that dissolved it very easily. So use oils to dissolve your xanthan gum. Use about 3 teaspoons of xanthan gum for about 3 tablespoons of oil, depending on the thickness that you want. Really, this is a 1 liter production, so for this 1 liter production I ended up using about 3.5 teaspoons of xanthan gum for 3 tablespoons of oil. So yeah, you can see that this is dissolving quite nicely, but I promise this is not going to be so if you end up using water, or it's even a little more difficult with glycerine. So oils are just the safest option. So I'm just going to add the mix of oils and xanthan gum into my shampoo base gradually while stirring continuously. You will notice the shampoo starts to thicken gradually, but I'm going to give it another 1 to 2 hours to fully set. But before then, I'm just quickly going to add 1 tablespoon of my glycerine, which is a powerful humectant for hair, which means that it draws moisture from the air into your strands, deeply hydrating them and preventing dryness, dullness, and breakage. And for us coily hair girls whose goal is smoother, softer, more manageable hair, this is an important ingredient in this recipe. You can see that our shampoo is getting even thicker, so I'm just going to cover this and let it sit for another 1 to 2 hours. But to be safe, you can even let it sit overnight like I ended up doing. This is the next day, and can you see the smooth, creamy texture of this shampoo? This is the perfect consistency. It's just as thick as I wanted it to be. I kind of prefer it when my shampoo feels luxurious and easy to apply, not the runny consistency. So yeah, this is perfect. And now it's time to go in with my essential oil. This is my DIY lemongrass and rosemary essential oil. You know that these ingredients, rosemary and even lemongrass, stimulates blood flow to the scalp, promoting hair growth, and of course, because of the great scent of this oil, my shampoo will be smelling absolutely amazing. As usual, it's important to mix thoroughly so that all the ingredients are combined nicely. And then next, it's time to go in with my preservative. And for this recipe, I'm using Germall Plus preservative, using just about 5 mils for this 1 liter production. Now I'm just going to mix this thoroughly once again to make sure that it is evenly distributed, and this will keep my shampoo fresh and safe for up to 3 months. Finally, I'm just going to pour this into dispensable bottles, and voila, your very own black soap shampoo infused with hibiscus, aloe vera, nourishing oils, and everything good. This shampoo has honestly transformed the way my hair feels after wash days. It cleanses without drying out my strands, and my scalp always feels refreshed. But just so that you don't think this is super story, I'm going to be showing you how I actually use this on my hair. So I'm starting out on already pre-pooed hair. I already pre-pooed my hair and rinsed off the pre-poo product, and so my hair is very damp. And now I'm just going to go in with my shampoo. Did you see that thickness, that rich luxurious thickness? I mean, this shampoo looks so good, feels so good. And yeah, I'm just going to work this into my hair, starting from my roots, and then I'll just work that really nicely, going with more shampoo as I need to. So among the three major concerns of using black soap as shampoo is the fact that it tends to or can tend to leave a whitish film on your hair, and that is simply because soap forms come with water, especially hard water. So using black soap shampoo can tend to leave a grayish film on your hair, making your hair look dull and like it is not clean. But not after everything that we have added in this shampoo, guys. All the oils, aloe vera, lemon juice. I mean, after the first wash, yes, my hair tends to look like that, but I just take that to mean that my hair is not clean enough yet. So I go in a second time, and by the time I rinse off, my hair is clean. And the thing about that dull grayish film is that it tends to make your hair tangle. I have experienced that before using black soap shampoo that I didn't make properly, but not with this. Can you see the way my curls are popping? If my hair was tangled, my curls will not be looking this way. I promise you that if you make your black soap shampoo this way, it's going to save you a lot of money, especially if that is your goal. If your goal is to save money, try and make this shampoo the way I showed you, because these ingredients are probably stuff that you have um lying at around your house, except for the preservative and xanthan gum, of course. But yeah, can you see my hair? That is just after using the shampoo. So of course I always go in to use a conditioner just to be sure. I've heard people say that with this shampoo you do not need to use a conditioner, but I insist that you use a conditioner after, because yeah, just to be safe. Like I said, my hair has been thriving since I started using this shampoo, since I started making this shampoo like this. There's no concern about pH balance, because everything that I've added inside. I think I've said enough about this. I need you to actually use this shampoo and come back and leave your feedback in the comment section. So thank you guys for watching this video. Like I said, if you try this recipe, let me know in the comments how it worked out for your hair. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and please feel free to share this video with anyone you think might find it helpful. And for more DIYs like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because I've got more natural hair recipes, hair tips, and self-care routines coming your way soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Compliments of the season.